Somalia, a country bathed in the warm sun, is a place of striking contrasts and profound beauty. And lapped by the azure waters of the Indian Ocean, its shores are kissed by waves that have traveled thousands of miles. It sits at the tip of the Horn of Africa, a region that has been a crossroads of civilizations for millennia. This strategically important peninsula juts out into the sea, forming a natural gateway between continents. Guarding the entrance to the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, vital arteries of global trade. It's a land of ancient history, vibrant culture, and breathtaking landscapes that tell stories of resilience and survival. From the rugged mountains of the north, where the air is crisp and the views are endless, to the fertile plains of the south, where agriculture thrives and life flourishes, Somalia possesses a stark beauty that captivates the eye and stirs the soul. Yet, beneath this veneer of beauty lies a nation grappling with decades of conflict, poverty, and insecurity, challenges that have left deep scars. The Horn of Africa, where Somalia resides, has long been a region of geopolitical significance, a focal point for global interests. Its strategic location at the crossroads of Africa, the Middle East, and Asia has made it a coveted prize for regional and global powers alike, each vying for control. This has often come at a cost to the people of the region, who have found themselves caught in the crossfire of competing interests and ambitions. Their lives disrupted by forces beyond their control. Somalia, in particular, has borne the brunt of this geopolitical tug-of-war. Its fragile peace repeatedly shattered by conflict and instability. Leaving behind a trail of destruction and despair. Despite its challenges, Somalia remains a land of resilience, its people known for their warmth, hospitality, and unwavering spirit. A testament to their enduring strength. Even in the face of adversity, the Somali people have clung to their traditions, their culture, and their sense of community, finding solace in their shared heritage. This spirit of resilience is evident in their music, their poetry, and their daily lives, a testament to the enduring human spirit that refuses to be extinguished. Even in the darkest of times. However, the challenges facing Somalia are immense, and the road to recovery is long and arduous. Decades of conflict have left their mark on the country, shattering its infrastructure, displacing millions of its people, and fueling a cycle of violence that seems to have no end. A vicious circle that perpetuates suffering and instability. The Somali people, known for their resilience and spirit, deserve a chance to rebuild their lives and their country, to rise from the ashes of conflict, to live in peace and prosperity, to see their children grow up in a world free from fear and want. But to achieve this, they need the support of the international community, not just in words, but in concrete actions that address the root causes of their suffering, paving the way for a brighter future. Somalia presents a stark paradox, a nation endowed with abundant natural resources, yet languishing in poverty. This East African country, with its rich cultural heritage and resilient people, faces a daily struggle for survival despite the wealth beneath its feet. Beneath its sun-baked soil lie untapped reserves of oil, natural gas, uranium, and precious metals. These resources, if properly harnessed, could transform Somalia into a prosperous nation, providing jobs and boosting the economy. Its coastline, the longest in mainland Africa, teems with fish, offering the potential for a thriving fishing industry. The waters are rich with marine life, which could support not only local consumption but also export markets, bringing in much-needed foreign currency. Its fertile land, if properly cultivated, could feed its people and generate income through agricultural exports. Crops like bananas, sorghum, and maize could flourish, providing food security and economic stability for millions. Yet despite this natural bounty, Somalia remains one of the poorest countries in the world. The wealth that lies beneath and around them seems like a distant dream to the average Somali citizen who faces daily hardships. Decades of conflict have crippled its economy, leaving its infrastructure in ruins and its people struggling to survive. The constant state of unrest has made it nearly impossible to build a stable economy or improve living conditions. The very resources that should be a source of wealth have, in many cases, become a source of conflict, fueling corruption and instability. Instead of being a blessing, these resources have often led to power struggles and violence. Warring factions driven by greed and power have plundered the country's wealth, leaving ordinary Somalis to bear the brunt of the suffering. The human cost of this conflict is immeasurable, with countless lives lost and families torn apart. This paradox is a stark reminder of the curse of natural resources. The presence of valuable resources often attracts exploitation and conflict rather than development and prosperity. Often, instead of being a blessing, they become a source of conflict, corruption, and underdevelopment, particularly in countries with weak governance and institutions. The lack of strong, transparent leadership exacerbates these issues, making it difficult to implement effective solutions. Somalia's tragedy is a case in point, a cautionary tale of how the pursuit of wealth, unchecked by the rule of law and a commitment to the common good, can lead a nation down a path of self-destruction. The international community must take heed of this lesson. The international community has a moral obligation to help Somalia break free from this vicious cycle. This involves not only providing immediate relief, but also supporting long-term development strategies. This requires a multi-pronged approach that goes beyond simply providing aid. It involves building schools, hospitals, and infrastructure, and ensuring that these institutions are sustainable and beneficial to the local population. It demands investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, creating a conducive environment for businesses to thrive, and supporting good governance and the rule of law. Only through such comprehensive efforts can lasting change be achieved. Only then can Somalia hope to unlock its true potential and provide a brighter future for its people. With the right support and commitment, Somalia can rise from the ashes of its past and build a prosperous, peaceful future for all its citizens. The emergence of AlShabab, meaning the youth in Arabic, has further compounded Somalia's woes. This group has become a significant force, altering the landscape of the nation in profound and often devastating ways. Born out of the ashes of Somalia's civil war, this extremist group emerged in the early 2000s, espousing a radical interpretation of Islam and seeking to establish a strict Islamic state in Somalia. Their vision was not just about religion, but about power and control over a fractured nation. Initially a fringe group, AlShabab capitalized on the chaos and lawlessness that engulfed Somalia after the collapse of the central government in 1991. They saw an opportunity in the power vacuum and seized it with ruthless efficiency. They exploited the grievances of the marginalized and disaffected, particularly the youth, offering them a sense of belonging, purpose, and identity in a society fractured by conflict. This recruitment strategy was highly effective, drawing in those who felt abandoned by the world. Their strict interpretation of Islam, though brutal and unforgiving, provided a semblance of order in a world where chaos reigned supreme. For many, this harsh order was preferable to the anarchy that had previously dominated their lives. Through a combination of intimidation, violence, and social services, they gradually expanded their influence, establishing control over vast swathes of southern and central Somalia. They provided basic services where the government had failed, further entrenching their power. AlShabab's tactics have been as brutal as they are effective. Their methods are designed to instill fear and ensure compliance, leaving little room for resistance. They have carried out suicide bombings, assassinations, and public executions, targeting not only government officials and security forces, but also civilians. These acts of terror are meant to send a clear message. Opposition will not be tolerated. Their reign of terror has instilled fear in the hearts of ordinary Somalis, silencing dissent and stifling any hope of normalcy. The constant threat of violence has left the population in a state of perpetual anxiety. Their actions have not only destabilized Somalia, but also posed a significant threat to regional and international security. The group's reach extends beyond Somalia's borders, affecting neighboring countries and drawing international concern. Their rise is a stark reminder of the dangers of allowing conflict and instability to fester. It shows how quickly a power vacuum can be filled by those with malicious intent. It highlights the need for a comprehensive approach to counter-terrorism, one that not only addresses the security threat posed by groups like AlShabab, but also tackles the root causes of extremism, such as poverty, marginalization, and lack of opportunity. Only by addressing these underlying issues can we hope to bring lasting peace and stability to the region. Unraveling the intricate web of AlShabab's finances is crucial to understanding the group's resilience and to effectively countering its operations. While the group's funding sources are shrouded in secrecy, investigations and intelligence reports have shed light on a diverse and lucrative portfolio that enables them to sustain their reign of terror. One of the primary sources of income for AlShabab is extortion. They operate a sophisticated system of taxation, demanding payments from businesses, farmers, and even aid organizations operating within their areas of control. This illicit taxation, enforced through intimidation and violence, generates significant revenue for the group. Furthermore, AlShabab has its fingers in various illicit activities, including charcoal smuggling, illegal logging, and the trafficking of sugar and arms. These illegal enterprises, facilitated by corrupt officials and porous borders, provide a steady stream of income that fuels their insurgency. In addition to these internal revenue-generating activities, AlShabab is believed to receive external funding from sympathetic individuals and organizations in the Middle East and elsewhere. These foreign sponsors, driven by ideological affinity or strategic interests, provide financial and logistical support, enabling the group to procure weapons, recruit fighters, and carry out attacks. The international community has made some headway in disrupting AlShabab's financial networks. However, more needs to be done to choke off their funding sources. This requires greater cooperation among governments, intelligence agencies, and financial institutions to track and freeze their assets, disrupt their illicit businesses, and expose and hold accountable those who provide them with material support.